guys, this is Manju Tuba. I am back with the explanation of a new PgMP scenario. This time, the scenario that I brought is very interesting. It's related to governance, roles and responsibilities, which is a very tricky area in the exam as well. So let's have a look at the scenario first. You are working as a program manager on this Resource Management System Revamp program, which has just completed its planning phase. Now you are looking forward to hire 3 project managers to start your program work, and you want to identify the component managers. What should you do as a program manager? Option A, contact your peer program managers. Option B, contact the HR department to get profiles. Option C, contact the functional managers for the profile. And option D, start hiring from the local market. First of all, important terminologies in this program. This is a program which has completed its planning phase, and now you are about to enter in the delivery phase, and for that you need resources, and you are in the process of acquiring resources. So you need to hire 3 project managers, and you want to identify the best way of doing that as a program manager. Option A, contact your peer program managers. This option is not going to be the best thing to do, because when you are working in a program for an organization, this is against the organizational practices usually that you directly contact your peer project or program managers or your maybe friends within the organization to directly ask for resources or directly start the process with them. Yes, you can utilize your referential power, or maybe you can utilize your PR, professional references, and you probably can get the best advice from your peer program managers about the available resources or the relevant resources for your program. That is totally okay. But starting the process of hiring component managers with your peer program manager is actually going to bypass the organizational processes and organizational structure. So this is not a good choice. Option B, contact the HR department to get profiles. So when I posted this question on my regular Thursday PgMP post, this is the option most of the people went for, by saying that in our organization, whenever we are in the need or in the quest of resources, we directly go to the HR department. I don't disagree with that. I know that in many organizations, the process actually more or less the same way. However, please keep that in consideration that when you are writing the PMI exams, you need to think the PMI way and not your organizational way. Maybe your organizational practices could be a little different than what PMI best practices suggest. So this is exactly the same thing over here, that in PMI's world, and probably I have mentioned that in my previous videos as well, you actually need to assume, or you can make the safe assumption that while you are dealing with a scenario related to resource allocation or assignments or availability or prioritization or something related to that, you should be considering the metrics organizational structure. So in metrics organizational structure, every person almost has 2 reporting lines, minimum 2 reporting lines. One is related to the program and the other is related to the organizational structure. So in the organizational structure, your different component managers and different operational managers, and in fact, you as a program manager as well, are reporting to a functional manager, which is usually your direct supervisor and your boss that we term as. And within the program hierarchy, the program manager reports to the program steering committee, and every other member, for instance, the component manager reports to the program manager, etc. So in matrix structure, the program manager and the functional managers have their respective responsibilities. And usually we assume the balanced matrix in exam. By balanced matrix, we mean that the program manager is responsible for the program related activities and program related deliveries, collaborations, and interdependencies and integration and everything. And the functional manager is actually responsible to make sure that the resources are available timely and in the right manner, as per the right capability, capacity, and as per the expectation of the program and the program manager. So If we keep that mindset in consideration, going directly to HR department to get the profiles for resources is not the right thing to do. Because if you are going to do that, you are actually bypassing a very important step, which is first coordinating with our functional managers and speaking to them and understanding that if there are the right skill set available with them within their resource structure, and if yes, then probably the program manager is going to hire that in the program, and if no, then yes, maybe going to the HR and starting the hiring process and crafting the JDs and interviewing process and evaluation process, and everything is needed. So B as a very next step is not needed. Maybe in your organization this is done, I understand that, but because there's a possibility that your organization is not following matrix structure, maybe your organization is following the functional structure, right, where usually every department has a core responsibility and they have a command on certain processes. I understand that. However, in the exam, like I mentioned, if you are following the matrix structure, and even if in your organization, if you are following the matrix structure, then most likely whatever I'm saying is very relatable to you. So which warrants that option B is a wrong choice, or maybe not the immediate next step to do, and option C is, which I already have explained, that the program manager is expected to contact the functional manager to discuss the resource needs and expectations and the skill set and capability, capacity, availability, everything. And based on that, if he is able to he's able to arrange some resources from the functional managers or some profiles from the functional managers, and post that he is going to start the interviewing process and evaluation process and all, then yes. And if we understand that the functional managers do not have that skill set that he is looking out for available with them, or probably they do have, but the resources are engaged somewhere else, or they are allocated somewhere else, then yes, maybe option B is our next step to do after option C. Right? So between B and C, C is the right thing to do, and option D, start hiring from the local market. Again, if you are going to do that right away by bypassing option C and then B, then this most likely is going to go against your organizational processes, because in your role as a program manager, whenever you are in the need of a resources, usually the first step is to go to the sponsor to get the approval for headcounts and budgets and all. And after that, like I said, you go to functional managers to arrange the resources within your allocated budget and skill set and needs expectation as aligned with the sponsor. And if that is not working, then you usually go with the hiring process, and for that you have a process within the organization, which is the HR department, the human resource department. So the right order in this case, although we don't have the sponsor option available, but first the budgetary approval and the resource headcount approval should be coming from the sponsor, then option C, discussing that with the functional manager and making sure that you get the resource from the different departments or within the organization. And if not, then yes, maybe with the approval of your sponsor and steering committees, you probably need to start the hiring process with the HR, which is option B. And then option like HR along with you and the other organizational leaders is going to start the hiring process from the local market. So C, then B, then D is a right flow of activities in this case. I hope you like this explanation. Option C is the right answer for this particular scenario. If you have any follow-up queries in this regard, please do let me know. And also do let us know in the comment area that in this particular scenario, in the similar situation, what you do in your organization. I will be back with the explanation of another PgMP scenario very soon. Till then, take care. Goodbye.